Hi guys, in this episode of Shri series, we're going to be solving simultaneous equations using elimination but with more practice questions, alright? I felt that the more questions we practice, the more confident students become in solving these questions, alright? The difference between the previous video that I put up using elimination to solve simultaneous equations and today's video is that in this one here, in this video, we've got negative numbers, all right? So what do we do in those situations? So a bit of a nutshell. In a nutshell, what happens in elimination method? You've got, in this case, you've got x and y, all right? You want to get rid of x to solve for y, or you can get rid of y to solve for x, all right? That's really what elimination method entails, all right? Because we're trying to get rid of either x or y to solve the equation using linear equations, all right? So let's look at the first question. 3x plus 5y equals 8 and x minus 2y equals negative 1, all right? So what do we do in this situation? In the previous video, using elimination, we had similar numbers and we could work our way around. Either we add or subtract and we could get rid of them. Say, for example, if you had 3y above and 3y below, you can try to subtract and you get 0. Or you got negative 3y here and 3y there. You can add and you can get rid of them and you can get 0. All right. However, in this question here, you don't have similar numbers. All right. So what we need to do is we want to multiply by one equation so that when we get a similar number with another equation, we can either subtract or add to get the same answer, all right? So what I'll do there is I will label this as equation 1, which is 3x plus 5y equals 8, and I will label this as equation 2, which is x minus 2y equals negative 1. All right, now I can see I've got 3x and I've got x there. So technically, I can multiply equation 2 by 3. All right, so what happens there? I'm going to multiply it by 3. Just remember, I've seen students make a mistake. They only multiply the left-hand side and not the right-hand side. Always remember the rule of equations. Your left-hand side has to balance your right-hand side. So whatever you do on your left-hand side, you have to follow the right-hand side as well, all right? So that's the equality of equations, all right? Hence, it's called equations equal, all right? So what happens here? What happens when we get that answer? Okay, so I'm just going to rewrite this properly. Let me just move it here. So you've got 3x plus 5y equals 8. And my second equation, I've multiplied it by 3. So that's going to be 3x minus 6y equals negative 3. All right. So 3 times x is 3x. 3 times negative 2y is negative 6y. And 3 times negative 3, negative 1 is negative 3. All right. And then what I'll do there is I'm going to put a line there. Now, in this one here, I've got 3x and 3x, and if I want to eliminate, all I need to do is put minus as my operation. And what that means is, I'm going to get 3x minus 3x, I've got 5y minus 6y, and I've got 8 minus 3. So in other words, the x's I'm subtracting, the y's I'm subtracting, and the numbers I'm subtracting, all right? So 3x minus 3x becomes 0, so therefore we've eliminated your x, and we're now going to be solving for y. So 5y minus 6y becomes 11y, all right? Because what happens is minus and minus becomes a plus, and therefore that becomes 11y. 8 minus 3 becomes 8 plus 3, and that becomes 11, and therefore you divide by 11, and hence y is equal to 1. Okay, so y is equal to 1. So what do I now need to do? I need to put the value of y either in equation 1 or equation 2, and from my previous videos I did mention you want to put it in an equation that is easy to solve, all right? So looking at it, I think I'll put it in equation 1. So I'm going to double tick, and what I do there is I'm going to go 3x plus 5y equals 8, just to tell you what equation I'm going to substitute it in, and that's going to be 3x plus 5 times 1 equals 8, and that's 3x plus 5 equals 8, okay? And I'll just move this over here. So I've got 3x plus 5 equals 8, and 3x is going to be 8 minus 5, which is 3, and therefore x is equal to 1. So we've got y is equal to 1 and x is equal to 1. Yep. So if I want to check if I've got the right answer, put the value of x and y in both equation 1 and equation 2. So if you look at the first equation, 3x plus 5y equals 8. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 3 times 1 is 3, plus 5 times 1 is 5. 3 plus 5 becomes 8. So that's correct for the first equation. Let's see if we correct for the second equation. X is equal to 1. So 1 minus 2 times 1 is 2. So 1 minus 2 is negative 1. So therefore, the value of x and y is the same thing. Okay. So let's now move on to the next question. Okay, so let's look at question 2. 2x plus 3y equals 10. I'm going to label that as equation 1. And 3x minus 4y equals negative 2. And I'm going to put that as equation 2. So what do I do in this scenario? Now I can see I've got 2 and 3. There's something common, which is 6. So I can multiply the top number by 3 and I can multiply the bottom number by 2. Reason, because I'm going to get 6x and 6x, and when I subtract, I'm going to get rid of my x. Now, if you want, you can also multiply the 3 by 4, and you can multiply the negative 4 by 3 because you're going to get 12, and you can also get rid of it. But you want to work with the lowest number, all right? You still will get the right answer when you eliminate y, but it's good to work with the easy numbers, all right? So in this situation, we now need to expand. Remember, whatever you do on your left-hand side, you need to treat it equally on your right-hand side. So let's see the expanded figure. So that's going to be 6x plus 9y equals 30. 6x minus 8y. Sorry, I thought that was 6. 6x minus 8y. So I'll just write that properly. So 2 times negative 4y is negative 8y is equal to negative 4. All right. So I just want to check if I've done everything correctly. All right. I just want to see if I've done everything correctly. So 6x plus 9y equals 30 and 6x minus 8y equals negative 4. All right. So what operation do I need? All right. I've got 6x and 6x. What I might do is I will subtract because I'm going to get rid of the x. So 6x minus 6x is 0. Okay. And 9 minus 8. So if you look carefully, 9 minus 8 is going to be 9 plus 8, which is 17y. All right, and 30 minus 4 is 30 plus 4, which is 34. All right, and so y is equal to 2. So that's my answer for the value of y. All right, so what do we do there next? We put the value of y either in equation 1 or in equation 2. Now, you don't need to put the value of y in the expanded form. You can just put it in the original equation because the number is small, so it's easy. All right, so what do you think? You want to put it in 1 or 2? I say I'll put it in 1 because you got positive numbers, so it's easy to work through. All right, so I'll just put a double tick there, and I'm going to put 2x plus 3y is equal to 10, and in place of y, I'm going to put 2. So that's going to be 2x plus 3 times 2 is equal to 10, and 2x plus 6 is equal to 10, and I'm going to move that over the other side. The sign is going to change, so 2x is equal to 10 minus 6, which is 4, and therefore x is equal to 2. All right, so again, the value of x and y is the same. So it's normal to get the same answers for both x and y. And now I want to confirm, if I put the value of x as 2 and y as 2 in equation 1 and 2, will I get the same answer? So let's try that out. Let's look at equation 1. 2x plus 3y equals 10. So x is 2, so 2 times 2 is 4. Plus 3 times 2 is 6, so 4 plus 6 is 10. So equation 1 balances well. Let's look at equation 2. 3x minus 4y equals negative 2. So let's put 3 times 2 is 6, minus 4 times 2 is 8, and 6 minus 8 is negative 2. So therefore, my equation balances. All right. So just remember, guys, with elimination, what's the trick? You want to eliminate either x or y. And how do? You find out what is common. In this question, you needed to multiply by a different number above and a different number below to make sure you got the same number, which in this case is 6x, and then you subtract to get rid of x, and then you solve for y using linear equations. And then once you get the value of y, you substitute it in either 1 or 2. In this case, I substituted it in 1, and then you find the value of x. So you can see, therefore, that at the end of the day, the equation balances. All right. So always remember, when you're solving simultaneous equation, you need to have a basic understanding of your integers. When you add or subtract, you need to have a basic understanding of expansion, which is what we've done in 1 and 2. And you need to have a basic understanding in solving your linear equations, which is exactly this whole step that we've done there. All right. So that wraps up simultaneous equations. We've gone through questions using substitution, and we've gone through questions using elimination. All right. Thanks, guys, for listening. Bye now.